Hey, what's up guys, TechTime here and I'm back again with a brand new video. So before I begin, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and consider doing so. A lot of great content is coming really soon. There are a lot of great phones that came out recently and I'm really looking forward to go ahead and reviewing them. So if you want to support me, go ahead and subscribe. Also leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. So today we're going to be comparing with what I believe are the two best compact sort of flagship devices. Now, believe it or not, the Galaxy S25 is Samsung's base Galaxy S lineup, and the iPhone 16e is Apple's base iPhone. Now, they do also share some characteristics, especially when it comes to the design itself. So the base model iPhone 16e gives you this sort of compact design that is minimalistic and honestly, I know a lot of people might not like it just because it's simple and it doesn't really carry out any crazy design changes, but it does have this matte finish on the back that feels really good in the hand. Also on the bottom you do get USB-C, a speaker, and the sides are made out of aluminum, and you also get the power button on the right hand side, your volume up and down, and the action button on the left hand side, which we will talk about later on. But again, the fact of the matter stays that you also still get a single camera setup. Now the Galaxy S25 has a similar material, but if you look at it, you get a proper triple camera setup with a telephoto lens, a ultra wide, and a main sensor. It's definitely going to be talked about in the camera comparison between these two phones, but you get your power volume up and down on a singular side, which is the right hand side. And overall though, design wise, believe it or not, they're very similar other than the cameras themselves, and they both have this sort of a compact feel, which I think can really make a difference in the way that you use your phone. If you don't really want a large phone in basically a society that likes bigger phones, and you're one of the ones that like a more compact device, one of these phones could be a really good option for you. Now moving on to the display, both of these phones have an OLED display and they both share a similar sort of size perspective, but I do have to say that, to be honest with you, it's no doubt that the Galaxy S25 has the better display. Brighter, thinner bezels, and honestly, it almost makes the iPhone 16e's display seem like a kind of really outdated display. And so if you look at the bezels side by side, you can actually tell even the camera cutout itself is just night and day better. And in addition to all that, just to put the nail on the coffin for the 16e, it does only max out at 60 Hz versus the 120 Hz on the Galaxy S25, which means that the display is way more enjoyable on the Galaxy S25, no doubt, but I'm not really trying to bash it too much on the iPhone 16e ends. It does have a good display, just the S25 beats it by a mile and a half. So keep that in mind if you're interested in buying either one of these phones. Now, a really important topic to talk about now is the camera system on both of these devices. Now, the iPhone 16e has a singular 48 megapixel fusion camera is what they like to call it. So it does have a 2x and it uses the 48 megapixels to kind of achieve that. But the Galaxy S25 has a proper triple camera setup where you get a main sensor of 50 megapixel, you get a 10 megapixel telephoto, and you also get a 12 megapixel ultra wide. And the telephoto does give you 3 times optical zoom with optical image stabilization for video. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is the fact that the S25 does achieve 8K video, where the iPhone 16e does max out at 4K. Now, I did take several pictures in comparison, and to be honest with you, both of these phones produce some really nice pictures, and one may have warmer tone versus a cooler tone than the other. In some scenarios, the pictures look a little bit more saturated on the S25, but to be honest with you, from your daily picture perspective, they both perform well. Where you're really going to be noticing the difference is when you obviously use the ultra wide that you have access to on the S25, where you don't have access to that on the iPhone 16e. Even the selfie, to me, I lean a little bit more towards the iPhone selfie camera, even when it came down to the video and audio quality. So take a look and take a listen.
Hey, what's up guys, TechTime here, and this is a quick comparison between the iPhone 16e's selfie camera and the Galaxy S25's selfie camera. So from what I noticed is that the iPhone 16e has a little bit of a wider field of view as far as the camera goes, but I feel like they both produce some pretty good quality selfie videos. You tell me though what you think.
So the actual video quality, I do have to give a lenience more towards the iPhone 16e, especially in the selfie side of view, but the denoise audio is better on the S25. And overall though, as a camera, I'd still pick the S25 over the iPhone 16e. Now, I want to speak a little bit on the performance on both of these devices because that's also an important category. So on the Galaxy S25, you do get the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor versus the iPhone 16e's Apple A18 processor. Now, without getting too technical, both of these phones from a daily task perspective, they produce a very well-respected performance. It's top-notch on the S25, and it may not be the fastest nowadays on the iPhone 16e, but it also no slouch either. So both of these phones will handle any task that you throw at them basically. And the other thing that I do want to speak on is battery life. Now, the iPhone 16e does have a 4000 milliamp hour battery, whereas the Galaxy S25 also has the same 4000 milliamp hour battery, but where the iPhone 16e kind of falls short is with charging speed. You only get 15 watt of max fast charging versus the 25 watt that you get on the S25, which even the S25, the 25 watt is not really that fast in nowadays.
So let's talk a little bit about which phone is actually right for you. Now, me personally, I really enjoyed using the S25 because it almost felt like a complete device versus the slouch of the iPhone 16e. It felt like it's making a lot of compromises, more compromises than I would like. Lower charging speeds in the S25, and in addition to all that, slower wireless charging speeds, slightly downgraded camera system, even though it is $200 cheaper. And to be honest with you, the S25 does have the better overall quality display. So what I really like about both of these devices though, is that they're both super compact. So the size of both of these devices are really, really good. And believe it or not, they actually share a lot of design characteristics. Similar material design, different colors, but same kind of size overall.
So if you're in the market for either of these phones, which one would you pick and why? Leave it in the comments below. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching.